File with Megan Kelly.
Well, controversy today on the campaign trail of the potential 2016 contenders after a liberal columnist launches a scathing attack on Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. On Friday, the New York Times ran a column from Gail Collins that argued in 2010 layoffs happened in Wisconsin public schools because, quote, Walker cut state aid to education. But he wasn't even governor in 2010, which is a problem for her theory. Ms. Collins was promptly called out by several reporters who realized that she didn't fact-check parts of her piece. So then on Sunday, the New York Times issued a correction saying that the layoffs were made by the city's school system because of a budget shortfall before Mr. Walker took office in 2011. Chris Stirewalt is our Fox News digital politics editor. He joins me now. Can I tell you, Chris, when the New York Times Magazine just did a piece on me a couple of weeks ago,
did they?
It was meticulously fact-checked. And I tell you, they spent hours and hours and hours and hours on the phone fact-checking that. How does something like this get in there?
Well, it's Gail Collins, for goodness sake.
They don't care if it's just like a column by Gail?
Look, I think here's the funny part. The funny part is that Gail Collins was trying to be funny. She was trying to be mean and acerbic about Scott Walker, because I don't know whether you've heard this, about evolution, and he didn't go to college. And so the inside joke was he needs an education about education, and then she was stupidly wrong, and I'm sure...
Way wrong.
Like, just way, way wrong. But I guess what I would say is the threshold, the expectation for general excellence in her column is perhaps not as great as it is for other things in the paper. It's more of a trifle, perhaps, on the editorial page, but it certainly didn't live up to the standard of the rest of the newspaper or the magazine.
What do you think? I mean, do you think if this had been a middle-of-the-road columnist taking a shot at a GOP potential candidate, do you think that the New York Times would have handled it differently?
Well, I bet if Maureen Dowd...
at a Democrat, I mean, if they had made a mistake about a Democrat.
Well, I was just going to say, I think Maureen Dowd, who melted Hillary Clinton's face with the most intense column, that she is really back in her wheelhouse. She just totally melted her.
She did.
In that piece.
This weekend, if you haven't seen it, it's still out there.
Just check it out, because it'll melt your face too. When you read it, you can just bet that the New York Times fact-checked that thing. You can bet that Team Hillary was on the telephone in real time. Well, no, you can't. No, you can't say that.
Right.
So I'm sure that was meticulously fact-checked.
So Scott
not
Walker,
just Wikipedia
he took some hits from old Gail, and now if people aren't watching, the Fox News channel today or didn't read the correction in the Sunday Times, they think it's true. They think this teacher who won Teacher of the Year, that she then lost her job because of Scott Walker's policies, which is not true. So what does this hurt Scott Walker?
No, I think it's good for Scott Walker. First of all, I think he can pretty well kiss off the Gail Collins fans vote inside the Republican primary. Gone. That's okay. And it helps him because when the New York Times attacks somebody, especially wrongly, that is the cue, that is the signal to Republican primary voters to pay attention and potentially like this person.
That's what made Sarah Palin a star.
Exactly. She wouldn't have been nearly as popular as she was if it hadn't been for the fact that the establishment press gang-tackled, went out and just tried to absolutely wipe her out. That told the Republicans, hey, you better stand by this person. The New York Times hates them.
Chris, great to see you.